Many thanks again for staying with us on the program Politics Today on independent television and radio. September 21 is the D-Day for Edo State governorship election. For some analysts, Governor Godwin Obaseki is not going to be on the ballot paper. As always, what we're going to have there, the party symbols and logos. But analysts are saying what is done right or wrong are going to be major determining factors in how this election will go, whether in favor of the PDP or against the PDP, in favor of the APC, Labour Party, YPP, name it, or against them. How true is this? That's the major talking point on the show today. If we have all the time, we're just straying a little bit to Rivers State to examine the drama that is playing out there that seems to have defied every solution, every strategy to resolve it. Welcome aboard the program. Our panelists here have the spokesperson for the Aswe campaign management team. I'd like to thank very especially Barrister Daniel Osa-Ogbege for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much, Oniju, for having me this morning.
I don't know what's this Igbo-looking pattern. What is it about today?
Yeah,
are you going for a traditional wedding or something?
No, it is to identify with our Igbo brethren.
Okay.
That they are dynamic people. They are one of the reasons why we have hope in the country.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. I also have with us here the chairman of the media team of the Olumide Akpata campaign management team. I'd like to thank Comrade Idris Zakari. Always a delight to have you here.
Thank you very much. An absolute delight to always come here and share this space, this platform with your esteemed self and my dear brother, who is now my brother on the other side. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Idris.
Okay,
it's good.
We have Chief Akwamoha Matthews Daniel, who is a staunch supporter of the Monday Okwebolo campaign team. Is joining us from the UK. Chief, many thanks for joining us on the program Politics Today on ITV Radio. Good to have you on board.
It's a privilege and honor to be part of your wonderful show. And I want to also thank my dear brothers as well. We are all together looking for the best for Edo State. That's Barrister Osa-Ogbege and as well my dear brother Idris as well. So it's a privilege and honor to be in this glorious panel with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's get right away. The perspectives that Governor Godwin Obaseki's performance, impacts, infrastructural development, I mean, whatever he has done is a major determinant as far as this election is concerned, is a major talking point. So in a sense, some say, well, he's the man to beat, or the PDP is the party to beat in this election against the background of these impacts made by Governor Godwin Obaseki. What are your thoughts?
To the contrary, I think that the PDP, Godwin Obaseki's party, is not the party to beat. In the sense that it is the party in power, yes, but in the sense that it has done so well that people are confused as to the choice to make, that is inaccurate, factually speaking. In the last 8 years, I think one thing that all three panelists can agree, my brother in the UK, my dear brother Dan Ogbege, is that we have all agreed at one point that this government have performed abysmally. At one point, because my brother, we were together in 2020 in the Governorship Campaign Council of Osage Zeyamo of the APC. And I remember vividly how we continue to remind our people that this is not the way that we had planned for him.
Perhaps at that time, you guys were just politicking.
No, it's not politicking.
Maybe now you know better, or he knows better.
I don't know how to politic. I'm mostly a factual person. I'm more of an activist than even a politician. And, this is 2024, and it has only gotten worse 4 years down the line. There are pointers to this fact. Once it wants to rain in this city, for example, and people say we talk about this too much, but we just don't have a choice. What else are we going to talk about if not the failures? Because there's not much to point to in terms of success. When it wants to rain in this town, your heart begins to palpitate. Wherever you find yourself, you begin to look for ways to retrace your destination, because if you are caught and it rains where you are, you may likely not get home that night. There are several indices. Are we going to talk about the many failings in terms of the health, the education, the infrastructure, the even the so-called empowerment, the salaries and the emoluments? There are people in this state that have not received salaries for years. A case in hand is the people in Ikiadolo, the staff of the College of Education in Ikiadolo. And the list is endless. I don't want to sound like a mindless critic. I believe that as we engage more in the conversation, we'll be able to domesticate some of the issues, and then we'll be able to make sense of it. But to say that because of the performance of Godwin Obaseki, they are the party to beat, that's wrong. I think that because of the non-performance of Godwin Obaseki, they are the party to lose the next election.
All right, let me get your take on this, Mr. Daniel Sawa.
It's quite funny because, sometimes, when we play politicians, especially opposition politicians, it is hard for them, especially in this country, to see anything good about the party in government. So when you postulate that Godwin Obaseki has not done anything, that itself is a statement that people should quiz, and people will then begin to look at your sincerity, why you will say he has not done anything. Even while I was on the other side, I would say where he has done well in the area of public service reform, but he has not done this and this and this. And of course, I used to criticize the issue of Ikiadolo until I discovered that the issue of Ikiadolo did not even start with him. It started with his predecessor, Adams Oshomole. But we didn't come here to even discuss Godwin Obaseki. Because even if, to a large extent, the performance of Godwin Obaseki will be a major deciding factor for some people in choosing who governs them, but they will understand that Godwin Obaseki is not on the ballot. He's not contesting election, even if his party is contesting election. But we know in this country that governance is not as much about political parties as much as it is about the individual that is on the ballot. So today, we have as major contenders three Edo sons: Asue Ighodalo, Olumide Akpata, and Monde Okpebholo. So what we Edo people do is to look at these three Edo sons.
There are more than that.
No, I mean, I said major. That's why I said major.
That are contesting.
I said we have as major contenders.
We need to establish that.
For me, I said we have
political parties, they see themselves as major.
Yeah, well, we know
they see themselves as major.
But we say as major contenders, those who are major. Because in the US, when they run for president, you always see two major contenders. But there are other people. Most times there are 20-something or 30-something. So, but you focus on the two because we are serious-minded. We don't want to waste time on inanities. So let's cut the chase and look at these three. Edo people will look at them and look at what they are bringing to the table. What are they offering? What are they saying that they will do? Now, we will not believe what they say they will do when they just make the promises or say the words. We will look at what they have done before. In other words, we will look at where they are coming from. So let's look at it. Where is Olumide Akpata coming from? What is his pedigree?
Okay.
What has he done in governance before? How much has he contributed to the society, to Edo? Does he see himself as an Edo man? Because I'm aware that he proudly calls himself as a Warri boy. So does he see himself as an Edo man, as a Benin boy?
That's inaccurate.
No, I mean, you have your tongue. So he probably calls himself a Warri boy.
Okay.
So now that he's contesting election, he went to add it's a Benin name he added to his name. He has never had that. When he was president of the Nigerian Bar Association, he never brought that up. But now he has introduced that. It is not evil in his inner forms that he failed. So you just start calling his character to question.
Okay.
Is he trying to bamboozle people? So even at that, what are the real issues in this election.
Okay.
The real issues are, one, the character, personality, and capacity of the candidates. Then two is what they have done before. And three, which is also even major, where does the candidate comes from? Because Edo people, we are essentially one.
Okay.
We've been one for centuries.
Yeah.
So if the generality of Edo people are saying that, oh, a Benin man, three Benin men has been governor since Edo State was created.
Yeah.
And Esakoma has been governor since Edo State was created. Most Edo people believe that the next governor of Edo State should be an Esama from Edo Central.
Okay, let me
when
pursue
a Benin man who is from Oedo, who is a cousin to the current governor, wants to take over from his own cousin, who is handing over in September, then I mean it will speak to people that this man is not really fair to Edo people.
All right, let me pursue there, Barrister
Thank you.
Daniel Osa Ogbegye. Let me link up now with Chief Akwamoka Daniel Matthews from the UK. Chief, quickly give us your perspectives on these major issues that will shape the Edo State governorship election against the background of the perspectives of some analysts that the performance or non-performance depends on what part of the divide you belong to of the present government will really impact this election. What are your thoughts?
Very good. Thank you very much for that. Quick digression. I want to thank my dear Honorable Barrister, dressed like an Igbo man today, which is very good. My chieftaincy is I Chief DKDO Ahuma of Abia State. So I want to pay homage to my fellow Igbo brothers in Edo State. Even though I'm originally from Esan, Odugbe, Amedosham, both parents from Amedosham. The current perspective, I want to take a little bit of disdain from the gentleman, my young brother Idris there, as saying Obaseki has done nothing or a catastrophe or a failure, I'm extending, blah, blah, blah. Yes, Obaseki have done great things. He has shown us that good grammar and big grammar is not the prerequisite of leadership. It has shown us that being a corporate person or somebody of our influential network doesn't give you the prerequisite to have human consciousness or kindness at heart. It has shown us that the yardstick of being highly educated does not translate to public service. And that's what he has shown us. So therefore, and my other fellow brother Barrister Sege, trying to play the game of dual person, I think we've gone beyond that. I'm a proud ASAN person, and I strongly believe it's ASAN turn. But we should go beyond that. We should focus on what are the antecedents of the person who is running. Let's take Senator Monday, for instance. Before he became a senator, what was he doing? And during the time he's been a senator, I can count over 40 projects he has done in ASAN land before he became senator and during the time he became senator. So his antecedent, based on what the barrister said, is character, his personality, and what they have done before. So his character, Senator Monday may not speak big grammar, and I object to many of the elite in Edo State who have this snobbish mentality towards Senator Monday because he's not a barrister, because he went to school, have his education late.
Yes, but Chief Matthew, can you blame them? Can you blame them if they have that kind of disposition towards say? Because some say, I mean, politics is about engagement. Engagement that has to do with interactions, discussions, and motivation, inspiration, and all of that. Is much of that coming from him as we speak at the moment?
Yeah, the ability to speak big grammar is not a prerequisite for knowledge, or even not an yardstick to judge the wisdom of a man. Because Senator Monday may not fluently flourish in the grammatical language of a foreign country, either French, Spanish, or Russian, or Chinese, does not make him less superior. As a matter of fact, make him far superior because of the depthness and the richness of his character, his ability to show compassion, his willingness to reach out to people at a level whereby the connectivity transcends beyond language, but personality of his intent to have good education, because he himself struggled to get good education until his later age. His intent to have good public care because he lost his only sister because they have no access to good public care. His intent to invest in community because he grew up as an orphan at the age of 3 years old, losing father and mother. He has that capacity to care. I've endorsed him, even though I came from a different party. I've not left.
Okay, I'll pause you there, Chief Akwemboka. I'll come back to you in a moment. Let's get back to our panelists here. The conversation is shifting a little bit from impact of governance to the qualities, the characters, the pedigrees, and the personalities of those who are coming forth to present themselves as candidates, or those who have become candidates of the political party. How relevant is this to this conversation, and then for the benefit of the electorate?
I think when you talk about, I'd try to stay on the issues, but my brother has spoken, eloquently about my principles, so we're going to also talk about this a little bit.
So it's about principles now.
I didn't say anything bad.
No, you didn't say anything.
Just go ahead. Go ahead.
We must be very careful going forward. He tried to paint that the man he supports was, this fantastic guy who has it all figured out. The last 2 years,
I've never started.
The last 2
I
years,
showed him in that regard.
Can you conduct yourself?
I said I've not.
This is my court. I hope you know that.
Yeah, I know that.
the last 2 years,
and
I hope as he obstructs, we get as much time as
you please. Yes.
The last 2 years, your principal was Mr. Asu Igodalu was head of Nigerian breweries. It was losses after losses. It was back-to-back losses.
As the MD?
As the chairman of that organization.
Not as the MD?
Not as the MD. Okay. It was back-to-back losses. I think one was 190-something billion losses. The second...
These are not true.
Excuse me, please. We can verify.
Yeah.
Now, the only reason why he was able to have a little bit of success in Sterling Bank is because that bank is the official bank of Edo State government. And that is where most of our money have been domiciled, including the notorious Agric loan, Subeb Fund that was never done. The loan was collected from CBN unaccounted for. I am saying it, hold me to my words. Now, we didn't want to put this out there because we wanted to respect each other. On the contrasting side is Mr. Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata. He tried to deny. In fact, he's trying as much as possible to tie.
He didn't deny.
No, he tried to tie Osaigbovo to the governor because they know how bad the governor has performed. They agree with us that this government, you keep obstructing.
You cannot take over from your country.
They keep arguing that this government has done so much, but they do not want to even associate with him.
But that's not true.
Knowing fully well that his candidate and the governor, they look alike, they talk alike, they act alike. Now, Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata, in contrast, compared to his candidate, went to the NBA and left the NBA. He left in the coffers of the NBA 1.5 billion in savings. It has never happened before. Keep in mind, he's the first man from the outer bar that became the NBA champion. He is a lawyer. I should be able to confirm what I am saying right now. So this is a man who headed an organization that was making back-to-back losses. On the flip side is another man who headed an organization that was making losses and began to make profit in his time. And you can compare. Look, we have gone beyond ethnicity, religion, and the rest of it. We are talking about personality and who can move those people. They have dealt us a bad hand. They dealt us a bad hand. The fact that they dissociate themselves from the failures of Obaseki, they are trying to separate Asu and Obaseki, is proof that their party is a failed party. I will further explain that to you.
Is apart from being the president of the NBA,
yes,
is there any record
yes,
of being
somewhere
making impact?
He has the biggest law firm in Nigeria, Templars. Find out.
Okay.
Over 120 lawyers, 3 senior advocates of Nigeria. Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata heads is one of the principal partners of Templars. Even his principal will agree that in the law profession they are way below. In the ticket, if you look at their ticket, they have Aswelime Igodalu, who is the lawyer. They moved the barrister, put doctor now, an honorary doctorate degree got from IAMU. And then you have Osaojo Oge, both of them moderately successful lawyers. In the Labour Party ticket, you have Kadiri Yusuf Asama, a senior advocate of Nigeria. And you have Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata, a former NBA president, lawyer of pristine record, high-achieving lawyers.
Okay.
Look, you can't compare. It's like comparing apples and oranges. And we didn't want. Let me pause. You agree with me that I didn't want to talk about individuals.
Let me pause it there. Idris, let's get your perspectives on quality, because I hear people say that Edo State is a very sophisticated state.
Yes.
In terms of education.
Yes.
In terms of personalities. Against the background of what indigenes of Edo State have done in Nigeria, are doing globally. So let's get your perspective from that stand.
I've said it times without number that we Edo people, we deserve the very best. We deserve people who have done it in their personal lives, in their personal business, people who have been successful. But beyond that, it's also the quality of the person. Beyond that, it's also the temperament. You need a governor that has a temperament to be able to govern the entire state. We don't need somebody that is going to be fighting or shouting in the streets and all of that, making threats. Like the video that I saw online a few days ago, where Olumide Akpata was screaming and threatening that how can the governor ban courtesan. I was amazed that a governorship candidate could come out to quarrel with the ban placed on courtesan.
That's misinformation.
But was that
misinformation. We shouldn't do this. So it's misinformation. Let's not do this, please. Let's not do this.
The ban on Okaige.
Look at me saying the courtist. Are you somebody? Are you calling all the Okaige? You had your time. I gave you the time. No, you making spurious statements that you don't know, but you are not a lawyer.
Prove otherwise.
We all know in the legal profession who is who. We all know you cannot. Olumide Akpata knows. We are not even here to talk about law. But he knows that President Sabasai cannot stand even close to Asue Ighodalo in the legal profession. In 2014, Banwa Ighodalo was rated as top 10 law firm in the world in the area of project finance. So all these things are there, the records are there. In Banwa Ighodalo, he mentioned just now that Templars has 120 lawyers. But Banwa Ighodalo has 125 lawyers. Banwa Ighodalo. And it has been like that consistently. Banwa Ighodalo is a commercial law firm. It's a litigation law firm. Olumide Akpata is talking about is a commercial lawyer, is a deal maker. He's not a litigation lawyer. He has never been to court. He has never worked with
That is
life.
inaccurate.
So those are the things that we look at. We are lawyers. You are not a lawyer. You are coming from outside.
No, that's not correct.
So having said that, Olumide Akpata is my friend. We elected him to be president of the Nigerian Bar Association. And if not for the fact that I know that this is not his time, maybe I would have supported him in some way. Two reasons that would have made me not to support him is that one, you cannot come from Oedo local government and you want to take over from a governor who is from Oedo local government. You cannot come from Ward 3 or Ward 4 and you want to take over from a governor from the same ward. And Oedo has produced governors. Lucky Benedion was from Oedo.
From Ovia. It's from Ovia.
No, Oedo, you don't know.
It's from
you just come into
Okada.
politics. You don't know. Lucky Benedion, he plays the politics in Oedo. He was born in Oedo. He was born in Oedo. You know, politically, he's from Ward 2 in Oedo local government. Okay. So, Ogbemudia was governor of Bende State from Oedo local government.
Ogbemudia is Igbanke.
No, you are saying where his father came from. We are talking about where. Do you know Olumide Akpata is Yoruba now?
No, he's not.
No, his ancestors came from Yoruba and they settled
here.
So let's not even talk about that. You just said something now, please. Let's not say Ogbemudia. You have been there from Igbanke. I'm giving you the facts. So he's interjecting. I know these things. Okay. Some of us, we've seen these things for a long time. You know, so let's not even talk about that. We're not about that. But the point is that Edo is one. So when somebody who is Benin, who is from Edo South, who is from Oedo, now seek to destroy the balance, the things that hold Edo people together. I mean, equality is equity. and it is correctness. So we must look for what is justiciable. We must look for what is just. We must look for what is correct. We must look for what is cautionable. Is it cautionable for somebody from Oedo, a Benima, to take over from Obaseki when Lucky Benejo was a Benima, Ubemunda was a Benima, and Oyego was a Benima? It is not possible. So we must tell ourselves the truth. Okay. Let's not play politics with these things. Okay. Now, I talk more about competence and temperament. Yes, that matter may have the competence, he's exposed and all of that, he's an intelligent fellow, but one, it is not his time in terms of geographical location, and two, he does not also have the temperament as governor of Edo State. And he has shown this many times, the way sometimes he will just lose it publicly, start screaming and shouting and threatening and all of that. We've seen it with the way they beat up the chairman of Labour Party, which he claimed to have orchestrated. He came out publicly to say orchestrated it. So again, we must look at all of those things. We are talking we must look at temperament. Let me finish. You have your time. You have your time, Idris. You have your time. So now if you look at Asue Odalo, he has the capacity, he has the character, he has the training, he has the competence, he has love for Edo State. He has achieved in his profession. All right, as a senior lawyer. He has achieved as a business person. And he has now come to serve Edo people.
Let me pause you there, Barrister Ubege. I'll come back to you in a moment. Chief Akwamoka Matthew is still live with us from the UK. I've heard our two panelists here talk eloquently about their principles, as it were, on the part of the PDP, on the part of the APC. And that seems to resonate with some people, because you hear things like Edo State is a sophisticated state, a highly educated state, highly intellectual state, against the background of our predecessors, and several people who are, doing quite well globally. What is your take on this issue as the core of the conversation on who becomes the next governor of Edo State, taking over from Governor Godwin Obaseki?
That's a very good question, and I really appreciate that. And I really find it strange because both of these wonderful gentlemen who wish the best for Edo State like I do, they are reading out the pedigree of their aspirants, their candidate. Because somebody is privately successful, it does not translate to good governance. Good governance is about public service. Let me tell you Senator Monday pedigree. Because at the end of the day, they are not there to serve themselves, they're there to serve people. Senator Monday, before he became a senator and now becoming the governor of Edo State, he did a borehole for a whole community. A boy in Igboa, in Irua. He built a perimeter fencing for a school with over 200 to 300 people. That's more than employing 100 staff. It's benefit for the people. He electrified a whole town center, electrifying Idumo Iyasole quarters. He dealt for hundreds of people.
All right, Chief Matthew, just a moment, Chief.
1 minute, let me get to my point. Let me get to it.
No, just a moment. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. This data that you're giving out, do they in any way suggest that the person who is behind all of these understand the concept of GDP, the concept of revenue generation, the concept of foreign direct investment? Because these are the modern realities of governance and government that people talk about. The things you are saying now, they are things that has been done. What is the core of the issue that he's projecting to Edo people that you think will really attract Edo people's support for him, as it were?
Good. In any government, no man is an island. Although he will be the elected governor, it doesn't mean he's going to single-handedly run the state. It's going to have people like you and I, who's going to be part of his team, one way or the other. Who's going to have more people even greater than myself and greater than you and I, who's going to be part of the government, advising and guiding it. It's a successful businessman himself, so he knows about business. He knows about management. He's a billionaire on a personal level. He might not have the pedigree of a barrister, but he has a large amount of staff, more than 100 staff in his business, more than 100 staff. He might not have the eloquence of articulating his viewpoint, but he has the depth of soul, the depth of understanding that a child of an orphan deserves the same privilege and a right to become a barrister like Aswe and become a barrister like Lumide. And that is far more important. He has the depth of a soul to know that no child should live, be in a impoverished society where we have abundance of wealth, abundance of food and substance. That's far more important to me than for him to read the balance sheet. For him to be able to say, one of the fundamental error here, let me please finish, is that people articulate or express or attribute these things to people like Olumide and Aswe that, oh, foreign investors understanding the idiosyncrasy of government is more superior than the wisdom and the passion to care for an average person. Senator
Okay, now,
Mondo,
Chief, if you like you admitted just a moment, you admitted a while ago that he is not as eloquent as he's supposed to be, doesn't take away the fact that he has the capacity to govern, he has the capacity to lead, and of course, he's been impacting on governance by way of all the things that he has done. If there's a challenge of eloquence in terms of articulating these issues or these things together, what is the guarantee that you'll be able to convince people? How do you convince people about who you are, your pedigree, what you can do, what you wouldn't do, and all of that? Isn't that the major challenge in this campaign for the APC?
It's not a challenge. It's not a challenge. Its eloquence is compared to what? Or is it the frequency of the way it speaks English? Is that what we're saying? It communicates. People who genuinely want to listen, understand him. People who genuinely care about issues, understand his sensibility. If I were him, I would not even be bothered in trying to get into the debate of eloquence. It's what do I want to do? What do I care passionately about? He does communicate, but we're not going to compare him to a barrister because that is their profession. They speak every day this funny vernacular that's foreign to us. Does not make them superior intelligent. It's an elitist view. Senator Monday is being ganged up by elitists. Elitists like those who are mostly about what these barristers have achieved for themselves, not what is in their art content. You are judged by your art content or what you propose or what you've done. Like my dear brother said, the barrister said, the pedigree. The pedigree is the antecedent of who this person is going to represent to us. As successful as Aswe and Olumide are, what have they reproduced or given to the state compared to Senator Monday? I can tell you over 40 projects he's done even before he became senator. And that matters more to me. I'm not an APC person. I'm not endorsing or becoming an APC person. To be very sincere, I am the first Labour Party chairman in UK who established Labour Party in the diaspora. I remain a Labour Party member. But one thing that's important to me is Edo State. Edo State supersedes party to me. It supersedes self-interest. And I'm against this elitist view against Senator Monday. It's very painful and shameful that that's all we could see, not the art and the character of the man.
Okay, let me just pause you there for a moment. I'll come back to you in a jiffy, Chief Akomoka. Just give me a second. Okay, we'll just have a few minutes, and let's look at the intentions, because that's key. In our conversation, communication, and engagement with the electorate, it's important that we express the intentions. What are we going to do? What is that message from your principal that is convincing enough that will convince Edo people in this election? What is that message?
Our message is clear and unambiguous. We want to return people to the center of the equation of governance in Edo State. We want to run a people-centric, people-driven government. The logo of our party is Papa, Mama, Pekin, the whole family. We are returning governance to the family. As opposed to highfalutin, high-sounding English, as opposed to those who have done it for 8 years with nothing, next to nothing to show, because if you ask them, they honestly don't have anything to show. They just fight. And when he talked about, I thought he would mention justice, equity, and fairness. He didn't. But he was trying to say geographic balance. Let's talk of political balance.
Actually,
we have had.
No, he did.
We have had. No, I will destroy it in 1 minute.
Yes.
We have had 8 years of PDP, 12 years, I beg your pardon, of PDP leadership. We've had 12 years of APC leadership. 8 of Lucky Benedion, 4 of Godwin Obaseki, 8 of Adams Oshomole, 4 of Godwin Obaseki. As a matter of fact, the present governor, who is a business partner and godfather to the PDP candidate, he was in both parties at some point. 4 years as APC, 4 years as PDP. So over 12 years of APC, 12 years of PDP. When it rains, you can't go home. It's time for us to try a third force, a new party, the Labour Party. That's absolute. There's no choice, and it's a matter of the life and death politically of our state.
Are we trying it because it's a papa mama picking party?
Yes, it's a family oriented, people oriented, people centric. We are putting people back in the mix. What we have.
How do you intend to do that?
What? Social services. A government that prioritizes social services. The chief in London was saying something about what his principal Monday has done. Even before Olumide had any interest to run for governor, he had already built a school in Ewatu, a state government, state-owned school that pupils were lying on the floor writing. And how do you convince me that there's anything called Edo Best in Edo? So we are returning people back to the center. Social services, road, education, infrastructure, healthcare. Okay. This government once promised to build 192 primary healthcare centers in Edo State. Today he hasn't. And nobody is asking, and he's building a big hotel, and you are bringing a business partner of his. Problem factually, I'm not trying to play politics here. A business partner of his to continue from where he stopped to build bigger hotels. The woman in Uselu Market, can she sleep in Radisson Blue? Can the man in Igbanke or the man in Afuze shop in the new ShopRite they built? We are returning governance to the people. This gentleman has removed the people from governance. We are now returning this government back to the people.
We have seen even the man in Uselu Market sleep in Protea and all of that during primaries.
During GR primaries.
We've seen that happen in the
during the primaries that were dollarized. We know the primaries that were dollarized.
Yours was Naira.
It is common knowledge that Olumide Akpata share $1,000 to each delegate.
There's no
it's common knowledge. He knows.
There's a legal department that will ask you questions.
No, it's common knowledge.
Like he knows that. There's a legal department. You are a lawyer, of course. There's a legal department that will ask you questions. Assert what you can prove. Assert what you can prove.
Hold on. You are
a lawyer. You have to be careful with your allegations.
So let's stay on the point.
The
point is
now a party that has not even entered government, whether state or federal, they're already fighting and killing themselves. They're already suspended and expelling chairman, national chairman suspended today. This one will come back tomorrow in Edo State. The state chairman suspended or expelled, and they are fighting over nothing. And they are not in government. They're not in local government. There's no councillor, no nothing, and they are fighting like this. How can Edo people not trust them with power? We need a candidate.
That's all.
We need a candidate that has the temperament to be able to bring all Edo people together. Let's not play politics with this. Everybody knows, and they say it in the inner recesses of their homes, that Asue Godalo is the best of the candidates. Now, what some of them say,
that's what some of them say.
That's what they say. Now, what some of them also say, they will say, because of Obaseki. Now, what did Obaseki really do? They say he has stepped on many toes. Now, when you say because of that, he stepped on many toes, or he stepped on your toes, you will see good thing coming. Then you will run away from it and choose what is not good enough. The other one is somebody that cannot understand even basic issues. The APC candidate that does not understand the difference between a zoo and a museum. How can you bring that person? If he sits with foreign investors, how is he going to interact with them? How is he going to engage with them? How is he going to represent the interests of Edo people? So it fears me. The governorship of Mode Berolo fears me. If I was a selfish person, I would have remained in APC. I was close to him. I was his lawyer. The reason why I don't really want to talk about him anymore, because it tells people that maybe there's something he did to me, that's why I'm against him. No! He didn't do anything to me. I like him as a person. But it's because he is coming to be governor of my state. And he's going to take another 8 years of my life and that of my children. It scares me that he cannot handle the state. That's the reason why I'm against him. But as for Lumide Akpata, I'm against him because it is not the turn of a Benin man to be governor again. We are Edo people. We are people who are equitable. We are people who believe in fairness. No, go and look at the average Benin man. Believes in fairness. And they already want go to the streets of Benin, go to the streets of Abuja, of Ikopazuwa, Okada, everywhere. In my village, Ugeudu. And they are saying it, that it will be very wrong for a Benin man to take over from a Benin man. What is even worse is that the cousin of the present governor wants to take over from him. I mean, okay, something that
our studio line,
it is something that it is very difficult to be able to comprehend.
Now, so we can take some calls and get the views and perspectives of guests, or rather our viewers and listeners from across the world. The studio number will be displayed shortly, so you can call that number and be part of the conversation today. 080-7777-0300. Well, it's a reality check now because this gives us the opportunity to gauge our panelists on the program. But we'll always advise that you do not cast aspersion on any of the political parties or the representatives here or the representatives of the candidates here to have this very meaningful conversation. Go straight to the issues and let's get your take, let's get your views, let's get your perspective. The number is 080-7777-0300. Dial that number right now, right away, and let us know what you think. Let us know what you feel about the conversation so far. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead.
Raphael.
Yes, where's Raphael? Where's Raphael calling us from?
PROA.
Yes, go ahead, Raphael. Go ahead with your contribution.
The issue is that it's no law. First, the constitution says this 70 seekers vying to become the governor of Edo State. Section 177 said by birth you must be sponsored, you must belong to a political party at the age of 35 years. Please. And you must be educated. School certificate or its equivalent, which is secondary school. For a high level of pedigree. Degree does not determine good governance. Now, your potentials, your feeling to the people, smooth sentiment to the people, 14 subsection 2A. So the people will appreciate the governor. If the governor has really done well, as passion, making inflammatory statement, mass cannot take us anywhere.
All right. Raphael, thank you, because I want to give the opportunity to another person. Thank you for your views. Hello, caller. Good morning, and tell us your name, where you're calling from. Good morning. You can try again. Looks like there's a log jam there. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello, Sonny. Good morning.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Joe Okpara.
Joe Okpara, where are you calling us from?
Bobaka, Mr. John. Bobaka.
Okay, Bobaka, please go ahead. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Yes, I want to commend your panelists there. God will bless them.
Thank you.
The truth of the matter is that Pasaki, as a governor, that's the truth. We shouldn't play politics. I come in, whether the APC or Labour Party, I don't know. When the time comes, all of us are going to decide. But for me, governor has done well, work hard. Look, many things that he has done, I cannot name them. The truth of the matter is that after Godano, getting that the people we are going to vote for. I can Labour say want to come by. Is the governor from Edo State? So you shall have it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your views that you just expressed. Hello, caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. This is Politics Today.
Hello, Sonny Duke. Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and go ahead, please.
My learned friend, Barrister Daniel Beja. Good morning, and the other guy.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Ambassador Eda Barrister Chris Egbenyo Awu. I'm calling from Idobo.
Go ahead, please.
In the Kubaka local government area of Edo State.
Yes, Barrister Chris, go ahead. Oh, I can't believe we lost that call. I can't believe it. I'm hoping Barrister Chris can call back. Well, the challenge is that you took a better part of the time we have for you to do your introduction. You should have just gone ahead to make your contribution. Right? Yes, good morning. Good morning, caller. Good morning. Okay, let's come back to the studio. Let me quickly link up with Chief Matthews Akwamoha from the UK. Give us your final perspectives on what should Edo people expect in this election in terms of the projections, in terms of the message, in terms of the language from the political parties, especially your principal.
Right. First of all, I feel like Senator Monday on this panel has been ganged up because you give those two other people a rebuttal to their talks and more time to them, and you've not given Senator Monday an opportunity to express himself better. And at the same time, you guys will now say Senator Monday does not communicate well, whereas I'm here. And question has been asked and being rebuffed by the two other people there on behalf of their candidate, and I've been bypassed. But having said that, I will hold my breath in peace, and I will put in addition to it. I want to directly appeal to Paris.
You had more time on this panelist discussion. You had more time. You had more time. You do a back check, maybe after the program. You discover that you actually had more time. Please, let's speed up with the time that we have. Yes, go ahead.
Can I put my point across, please?
Go ahead.
Please. This is for the betterment of Edo State at large. I want to appeal to Barrister Daniel, my namesake brother, and my brother Idris. I want to directly appeal to Barrister Daniel. Please, do not be afraid of Senator Monday. Senator Monday is a man of grace. It's a man that has been ordained by the special grace of God, that has walked the path of righteousness through from the age of 3 when he became an orphan, where he lost his mother and father. And apart from that, when he lost his older sister at an early age as well. Through that, he struggled through life to become who he is today. So you understand the struggle of an average Edolite. You understand the pain of an average family. You also understand the disappointment of an average youth, where there is no hope, no opportunity, and no prospect. Senator Monday is somebody that will come into this government, not with the knowledge of himself alone, that I alone, like barrister, the two barrister might do, and we can see it in the antecedent of the current governor, Obaseki, Nami no pass. No, Senator Monday is going to come with the perspective and the knowledge, and most especially the wisdom, that a tree does not make a forest. As such, it will depend on people like yourself, Barrister Daniel. It will depend on people like yourself, my dear brother Idris, to guide, to support, and lead him righteously, so that he meet the need and the demand of an average Edolite. That need and demand of an average Edolite.
Thank you, Chief Akwamoha. I want to thank you because our time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me take a last point from our panelists here. Idris, last word from you.
When all is said and done, Edo people must matter.
Yeah.
And at this point, we are saying it don't do. We have had it. We have been dealt a bad hand since 1999. You know, with the exception, I think, of only maybe about 4 years of Comrade and Soshomole, we've never had it good in terms of leadership. Our leadership has been, for the most part, very ugly. And it seems it gets worse with every passing day. We tried a technocrat. And as we can see now, there's no technocracy in his leadership. We should be careful of smooth-talking individuals. Smooth-talking individual is a sign of somebody who wants to obtain you by force pretense.
So should we be careful about you?
No, I'm not smooth-talking. I'm brass sometimes. So smooth-talking individual is a sign that somebody wants to take advantage of you. It's a Yahoo format. Smooth-talking. When people begin to talk too smoothly, be careful of them. People don't show temperament outside. Be careful of them, because no man is perfect. Only God is perfect. We want to put people at the center of governance. And that is what the Olumide Kadiri ticket stands for.
All right, Bryce.
Quite honestly, Sonny Duke, I wish there would be another day for us to come here and talk about Godwin Obaseki. You know, when you say Godwin Obaseki has not done anything and you are tying it to Asue Ighodalo, sometimes I just shake my head because the people who feel the impact of the governance of Godwin Obaseki, they are Edo people who will also vote. So when they listen to you on TV or radio, say he has not done anything, they will shake their head and know that you are not serious or you are not sincere or they are being political. The Edo State government workers who receive their salary as and when due, it has never happened like this before. The pensioners who receive their pensions as and when due, gratuity has not been paid in this state probably since the inception of this democracy, and Godwin Obaseki is paying it. The students who have a better deal under Godwin Obaseki, they will not agree that he has not done anything. The market women, the farmers who have been engaged as well, they will not agree. Now, there's no way a man or a person who goes to government can fulfill all his promises. And it is the reason why we say that the person he is introducing, which is Asue Ighodalo, who will start from where this government will stop, and from where other previous governments stopped, from where Oshomole stopped, from where Lokoyedon stopped. That's the reason why we are saying we should bring that man, because he understands government. He was with Adams Oshomole, he was with Godwin Obaseki, so he has learned for 16 years what to do right and what not to do, and is bringing his own vision to bear.
That's our package for today on the program Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. Views expressed here are the views of the panelists. They are not necessarily the views or the perspectives of the station. I want to say a big thanks to you for staying with us. We're back here, God willing, next week, Saturday, with a fresh edition of the program. Till then, stay blessed and bye for now.